This study was done, the timing was interesting because we had already entered the lockdown of the pandemic, and the city council had the foresight to give some instruction to our city manager that we need to focus our efforts on economic development. And we did that in a couple different ways. And one of the processes that we went through was to put out a request for proposals for economic development specialists. Let's take this opportunity and work on this study to focus on Little Saigon and economic development. And the output of that was this blueprint for investment for Little Saigon.
It has been a part of the city history for the last 4 decades. And many changes have taken place in the city. And today, the Little Saigon community is a large and important part of the Westminster City specifically.
The approach for the blueprint was to create 2 different working groups, if you will. So there was an internal working group to the city. So we had different city staff members involved, and the consultant led us through discussions and discoveries, trying to gather data. And then we also assembled an advisory committee, and those were different stakeholders from the community, and they ranged from agencies like Southern California Edison, all the way to people that had just grown up in the neighborhood. So we had a really nice representation from the Little Saigon community, whether they necessarily live there now or have history, and put together all these different voices and opinions. And so this group met in order to review and provide feedback on the information that the consultants were gathering.
What excites me the most about the blueprint is looking at how there is history in this community, but also looking at the evolution of it.
I think in Orange County, we would call it the Little Saigon area. We have about over 500,000 Vietnamese who live in Orange County alone. And Little Saigon is where the center of activities, where we have the Asian Garden Mall. We have many of the supermarket, many of the restaurants that were opened by Vietnamese owners, and they feature many different type of food from the north to the south of Vietnam.
I believe the city as a whole would benefit with this blueprint because Westminster needs to develop and reap the benefit of economic growth and development so that it doesn't fall behind to the rest of the cities.
The overarching goal is, let's really dig in and focus on how do we move this area forward. Because it does have that historical significance, but when you have a place of the historical significance, sometimes, and this is across the board anywhere, it doesn't always mean that they're prepared for the future, if you will. No one wants to commute 2 hours to their job. We want those people to live here too. We want to have this interplay of families and small business owners being able to assemble and grow wealth. I mean, for a long time, that's really been the mainstay of how families, move themselves forward. One of the things that, we've known for a long time is that we, the city, we don't have a good kind of talking relationship with a lot of the businesses and the influencers of Little Saigon.
Advance the growth and development of Little Saigon specifically, but also the development and growth of the entire city as a whole that would benefit all of its residents, doesn't matter which part of the city they live in. I think what's exciting is that it's present many opportunities, and some are short-term, some are middle-range term.
Little Saigon is known for tourism. So many Vietnamese or other nationality, they come to Little Saigon to see the art and culture of Little Saigon, and to visit places and also to enjoy food and to visit their friends as well.
While there is that history, for us to not evolve with the next generation, we don't want to put that at risk. We want to be able to continue to build on something that is already so rich and so meaningful. My vision for Little Saigon is that it grows and it thrives while holding on to its profound history, where kids, like I once was, can learn about the people and have cherished memories of those morning runs to the market and stop by the local shops where the community feels like family.